It's Wild Ones Pro Show time, back with your daily dose of tour action on Stage 6.
And for the second day running, everyone stayed upright on their bikes. It's a miracle. And we got a Breakaway 2, finally. So thanks to Garmin and Van Rysel for supporting the show and helping us to bring you these free highlights. Now let's get into them. Over to Katie.
The day began with the Kevin Vocalan fan club out in force in his hometown of Bayer as they rolled out this morning. They had a personalised hot air balloon with Kevin's face on, which is, well, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how you know you made it, surely.
I mean, we haven't seen any Pogacar hot air balloons or Remco hot air balloons yet, so is Kevin perhaps the biggest rider at the Tour now?
I mean, in that region of France, I would say. Maybe not outside of there, but who knows?
Maybe.
If you were a pro rider, Jimmy, what sort of merchandise would you want massive with your face on?
My gut was just to go straight with a castle.
Oh, a castle.
A castle
nice.
in the shape of me.
Humble. Stay humble.
Yeah. Gold castle.
Sorry, we interrupted Katie. Go back to it. She's got the giggles.
I have. Okay. The first real battle of the day was for the intermediate sprint, which came early today. Intermarché Wanty and Little Trek controlled the pace setting on behalf of Biniam Girmay and Jonathan Milan, respectively. But it was Little Trek who took the dominant line, with Jonathan Milan riding, well, storming clear really to take the full 20 points, with Mathieu van der Poel coming through, rolling Biniam Girmay on the line to take the second place with 17 points, confirming his interest in the green jersey competition.
Yes, and now looking at the standings after that stage, he is actually sitting at second position in the points competition, only 4 points behind Jonathan Milan. So he's creeping up there, he's creeping up. So we also saw a breakaway battle begin, and it was a battle to get something to stick today, wasn't it? It was
absolutely fierce. It was like watching a pantomime at times. Are they away? Oh, yes, they are. Oh, no, they aren't. It was relentless, and it just kept going and going. So Ben Healy of EF and Little Trek's Quinn Simmons were particularly determined today. They were the first two riders out at the beginning of the breakaway battle, and they were resilient enough to get in again later on, as was Harold Tejada of Astana. Lenny Martinez, on the other hand, we saw him out the back again. What is going on with him?
I heard he's very keen to keep hold of the neon jersey that we've awarded him.
Yes, I think so.
That must explain it. It was Visma who were playing the role of pantomime villains, though. They weren't letting it settle. They were being agitators, agents of chaos, if you will. Several of their riders were launching attacks, forcing UAE to close everything down, to keep riding hard and not letting anyone take a break. I'm sure that the rest of the peloton weren't very pleased either. I think they all probably needed to go to the toilet and have a drink by that point. But it did finally settle down halfway into the stage, actually, 100 kilometres to go. And the break included Ben Healy and Quinn Simmons and Harold Tejada, as formerly mentioned, Visma's Simon Yates, Mathieu van der Poel himself, Eddie Dunbar of Jayco Lula, Michael Storer of Tudor Pro Cycling, and Will Barter of Movistar. UAE came to the head of the bunch to take control, and the gap opened up after that. It was 3 minutes heading to the final set of categorised climbs, and from there it was set to be a breakaway day for the stage win. Ben Healy was the first to kick off the action with 42 kilometres remaining. He launched one of his trademark solo attacks, and off he went.
A decisive move by Healy. I suspect he was thinking he needed to drop Van der Poel in order to have a chance of winning that stage, because you don't want to go toe-to-toe at the line with Van der Poel, unless you're Pogacar maybe, but I think good tactics from Healy.
Exactly. Plus, we know that he likes to ride alone. I think he just likes to have a bit of time with his thoughts. So off he went. By the time he reached the penultimate climb, he'd built up a lead of 45 seconds, and he just continued to build on that afterwards. Behind, Quinn Simmons attacked, and Michael Storer was the only one able to follow him. So those two moved clear of the rest to try and chase Healy down, but they just couldn't make any inroads into that gap, which continued to grow all the way to the finish line. Healy won by an incredible margin of 2 minutes and 44 seconds to take his first victory at the Tour de France, ahead of Simmons, who outsprinted Storer to take second. Van der Poel finished 4 minutes down on Healy and had clearly gone very deep. The peloton then rolled in 5.5 minutes down on Healy, a reduced GC group with all the main favourites fighting it out all the way to the line in a battle for supremacy and I guess just kind of reputation, vibes, status. Of course, today Pogacar won it.
Of course. Who else? 45 kilometre per hour average on today's stage. What the hell?
That's just a pretty standard ride for me, to be honest.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
If it's about 30 seconds long.
It's just one of those days where everything's happening constantly, so there's no let up in pace whatsoever. And even when the peloton eased off, everyone at the front is still going hell for leather to try and win the stage. So, you know, it's like the opposite of what we saw on stage 2, when everyone just had a nice, or was it stage 3 actually, when it was a sprint day and everyone has a nice kind of restful cafe ride for a little while. So yeah, absolutely crazy.
Well, I think congratulations are in order for Ben Healy. Actually, I was somewhat surprised that it's his first tour win, because I feel like we're used to seeing him do these little plucky attacks. As you say, it's his trademark strategy, but never quite clinched it until now, and such an impressive margin as well.
Yeah, it was really amazing to see. It's his second Grand Tour stage win after his first at the 2023 Giro d'Italia. So he just needs one at the Vuelta now to complete the full set.
He has been stage hunting for, well, you know, we've been watching him stage hunt for a while. He's been so hungry to do this. So yeah, it's great to see it happen.
Do I sense a little bit of smugness from you, Jimmy?
Maybe.
And why would that be?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's that Velo Games Fantasy League thing that we've all entered.
My unspoken rule is we only talk about the Velo Games League when I'm ahead, so we're not going to cut that section for today. No, I'm only joking. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, jersey reshuffle after today's stage. I heard that Pogačar has heard that our alternative jerseys are now up for grabs, and it's one of the few competitions he's yet to dominate. So he's been gracious enough to let some of the other riders take a turn in those boring regular jerseys, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, if you want to put it that way. He has, in fact, lost all 3 of the jerseys he's been holding, because there was that incredible meme going around the internet with him in disguise in each one of them. And now he has none of them. So in the GC, Van der Poel takes the yellow jersey back and is 1 second ahead of Pogačar. In third, we have Remco, who's 43 seconds down. Then it's Kevin Vogelin in fourth, who is 1 minute down. Vingegaard in fifth, 1 minute 14 down. Healy has moved up 25 places to 8th. And Roglic lost another 5 seconds to move down to 10th. But, of course, he doesn't care, so we should stop talking about it.
Yeah, stop talking about it. It doesn't care.
In the green jersey competition, Jonathan Milan also regains his jersey by rights. He was wearing it today on behalf of Pogačar, but it's his again now. In the Polka Dot jersey competition, which we'll talk a bit more about later, Tim Wellens took that jersey back because he won one of the climbs. It's a day of people taking their clothes back from Pogačar. In white, at one point the gap was so big it looked as though Ben Healy might actually move into the lead of the white jersey competition. But in the end, the GC group really closed down fast. So Remco Evenepoel retains the lead in the youth classification.
In all seriousness, I don't think Pogačar cares about losing any of those jerseys. We've spoken before about, you know, it's better not to have them. I also just wanted to make the point after yesterday's TT stage that I think, and I felt this yesterday, and I felt this last year as well, and I had to remind myself to remember to give props and hype to Pogačar as well as everyone else, because I think sometimes we take his greatness as given, and therefore you talk around him and you measure everyone else to him. Oh, Vingegaard lost time, but like yesterday, someone very succinctly made the point in our comments of actually Remco pulled off almost a perfect time trial and Pogačar was only 16 seconds down. That's the headline of today rather than Vingegaard losing time, you know. Also
in a compromised skin suit.
Yeah, exactly. You take these jerseys off me, let me wear my own stuff and leave me alone to do my stuff. He sets the bar up in space, and therefore almost it doesn't seem like news to be like, wow, Pogačar's amazing, but just putting it out there, saying the quiet part loud, he's pretty good, isn't he? Anyway, in other news, reports suggest Remco Evenepoel is almost certainly going to make a move to Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe next year. There's been rumblings going around for the last couple of days now. Latest news is 70 to 80% a done deal, whatever that means.
I love putting percentages on things. Great,
he's wrote 70% of his name on the contract so far, and he just has to fill in the pool part. No official response from current leader Primož Roglic as yet, though I guess if we had to guess, it's probably I don't care, stop talking about it. Clearly, Remco has been doing lots of secret business deals lately and shaking lots of hands in meeting rooms, I assume, because that might explain why when his wife came over to congratulate him after he won his TT yesterday, when the camera turned to them, maybe without thinking, he grabbed her hand and shook it rather formally too, in what was quite a bizarre but funny moment.
I love how you've linked these two things together. That is fantastic.
Thanks.
Maybe he's what's that? Isn't there like a name for it where people don't PDAs, public displays of affection? Maybe he doesn't like PDAs.
Yeah.
So maybe she would like to give him a little peck, and he's just like, nope, stay away from me, shake my hand. I thought maybe it was like, you know, when you're in school and you accidentally call the teacher mum without thinking. It's just kind of like going into automatic mode. I'm not sure. Yeah, tenuous links there, but that's what we do best here on this show. Next up, fluff up of the day. So there was some commotion over the Polka Dot jersey before the stage even started this morning. Officially, as we know, it was Pogs, but he was busy riding in yellow. Teammate Tim Wellens was sat in joint second in the competition, and apparently he wanted to wear it, but rules say that his Belgian champs jersey take precedent. So the Polka Dots got handed down to Jonas Vingegaard. But there was then lots of frantic discussion around the Visma Lisa Bike team bus, and it was apparently over a printing error on that jersey. So they basically get printed ad hoc just before the stage as needed. And the organisers had accidentally printed one of Visma's old sponsors on the front. The sponsor in question was a betting firm called Bet City. You might have seen it on their kit before. It's not on this year because as of July 1st, Dutch sports teams like Visma aren't allowed to advertise betting companies anymore. And they can actually get pretty hefty fines for doing so. So there was a little bit of panic as they tried to work out how do we get rid of it. And clearly there wasn't any time to do a reprint. So they did a good old-fashioned solution. They got a bit of black tape and just stuck it over the top to hide it.
Luckily, it won't be an issue tomorrow because Tim Wellens has made sure that he actually owns the jersey again now. So no such worries tomorrow for Visma.
Correct. I like that betting companies are getting phased out of sports. I know it's something that's also happening in football as well.
They're the new cigarette companies, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Oh, so let's do the People's Champion section.
Yes.
Let's do that. So last year, my head is in a different stratosphere right now. Yesterday even, we put a poll out on YouTube to find out who the current Tour de France 2025 People's Champion is, and 3,600 of you voted, and you voted for a unanimous winner of, is that unanimous? It's not
unanimous, no.
What would unanimous be? Like 100?
100%, I think.
You voted in droves. I don't know, I can't do 40% of 3,600 off the top of my head, but it's a big number for Mathieu van der Poel, who is the current Tour de France People's Champion. And I'm saying current because when I posted the poll, I didn't fully understand what the intentions were for it.
You thought we were going to name an outright People's Champion after stage 5?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So, no, the idea is that our jerseys, like the normal special jerseys, change hands.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Probably not every day because we got other stuff to focus on the main race. But, you know, on a slower day or perhaps when we see merit in something changing hands, we will bring it up, make suggestions in the comments as well, or email us and we can take those into consideration. Mathieu van der Poel, it's the obvious answer. It's a little bit too obvious. I'm not sure. We haven't made proper rules over this, but perhaps since he's already in yellow a lot, maybe he shouldn't be getting as much limelight. But listen, we put it in there and you voted, and that is democracy.
Yeah, but it's like fake yellow, isn't it? Because he's not going to win.
Yeah, fine. And people like him.
Imagine he does now. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yes. So I actually want to highlight there were some extra jersey suggestions made from commenters. Someone suggested we should add a grey jersey.
Oh, I saw that one. That one's great.
It's just like the white jersey, but for older riders. Bus Full of Clowns suggested a red jersey for the most aggressive rider.
I thought Bus Full of Clowns was the jersey suggestion, which is for the stupidest team or something.
Yeah, so I think, red jersey I feel like would probably be maybe Jonathan Milan.
But that does effectively already exist, but it's not a jersey.
It's the combative.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean by aggressive. I don't know whether they mean aggressive or like combative.
Well, thank you for those suggestions, and we are not going to do either of them.
Okay, fine. So we talked about it before. I guess I have to let us look at the Fantasy League.
Fantasy League?
Whatever.
Fantasy League?
Yeah, it's Fantasy League. So 961 people are currently in the main CADE Fantasy League, which is amazing.
Thank you for joining, guys and girls.
The winner currently is a person under the alter ego of Wow Remco. He's currently leading after stage 6. Unconfirmed, but maybe could be actual Remco. Who knows?
I think there's a mistake here because that's not my team name.
Yeah, you're not leading the overall league.
Really?
We'll come on to the staff league in a second. Oh. Their team roster is impressive. Pogacar, Vauquelin, Healy, Onley, Gamay, Pollitt, Van der Poel, Affini, Evenepoel. They're smashing it.
There's something suspect about this team, isn't there?
Listen, it's
this
early.
This person knows too much.
It's early days. I also wanted to highlight some of the best names in the CADE League.
Ooh.
Visma Lusabike. The Hills have Gamays.
Oh, that's good.
Here today, gone tomorrow. Salt and Vinegar Crisps. Soudal Quick Nap. And then it goes off puns, but this one's great. 120 grams of carbs via Iron Brew and Watsits.
Correct. That's the only way.
That's my nutrition plan. And the last one, generic team name number 7.
What happened to the first 6? Already taken. There was another one, but you're not allowed to say it because it's too.
It's a not safe for work one. If I add it in,
but it's actually just someone's name, so it is safe for work.
Yeah, and this is submitted by our friend Esme, who's a lady, and the reason I caveat that is it makes it less creepy. But hers was, you make my cock hard, Brian. And I will leave that there. Okay, so next question.
Oh, yeah. Who's winning the staff league? Because obviously it's me, because everyone that did well today is in my team.
Let's have a look. Okay, the winner is...
Thank you very much.
It's Benny.
What?
It's Benny. So he won big with Healy, Van der Poel and Simon Yates.
Oh, he's got Yates.
And he's just smashed the 3,000 points mark. He's on 3,001 points. Well done, Benny. Sitting off camera, giving himself a pat on the back. Well done. Jimmy leapfrogs me via Healy too. I want to say that I did have Healy in a previous iteration of my team, but I've also had about 7 iterations of my team, last minute subs, etc. And Healy got taken out, so that's the way it goes. Katie, yet to get going, I think is a travesty considering she is the only adult in the room.
The only what?
Adult in the room.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm talking about the only one sensible who knows what she's doing.
Oh, right.
I think it might be maybe because I was doing it outside a bar in Lille with a beer and I'd had a lot of sun and I was like, oh, it's going to close in like a really short time.
Yeah.
And also I put French people in it, which is my ultimate mistake.
The worst gamblers are the ones which know the most about gambling.
Yeah, I did overthink. Not for very long though.
GG guys, GG.
The Wild Ones Pro Show is supported by Garmin.
And we are in some really good company because Garmin also supports some of the very best riders in the Tour de France and the Tour de France fam.
Yeah, they work with teams like Visma Lusabike, Soudal QuickStep, SD Works Pro Time, FDJ Suez, and many more.
And because Garmin provides these teams with trainers, head units and wearables, they've got access to mountains of incredible data.
And they're going to share some of that data with us throughout the coming stages. So we'll get a really interesting insight into the physical demands of the most prestigious bike races in the world.
So please stay tuned for that. And once again, thanks to Garmin for supporting the show.
How would you like to win a Van Rysel RCR-F 105 Di2 worth £5,000?
I would love to. I've ridden that bike. It is proper good.
Well, sorry, Jimmy, you can't. But one of our UK listeners will, thanks to our sponsor, Van Rysel.
That's class. The RCR-F is literally a Tour de France race bike.
Yeah, the official bikes of Decathlon, AG2R, Le Mondial.
The 105 version has the same grade of carbon that the pros ride.
So to enter the draw to win this bike, click the link in our description. You must be a UK resident, age 18 or over, and T's and C's apply. One winner will be chosen by Van Rysel and contacted by them a week after the draw closes at midnight on August 4th. I sound like one of those radio adverts, don't I?
No, it wasn't fast enough. So good luck, and thanks to Van Rysel for supporting the Wild Ones Pro Show.
Okay, so let's have a look at stage 7, tomorrow's stage.
So we leave Normandy and continue west into Brittany for stage 7, which begins in the port city of Saint-Malo on the Breton coast. The stage is 197 kilometres and heads southwest inland over gently rolling roads towards another punchy finale. There's an intermediate sprint with 58 kilometres remaining on the stage, and just 3 categorised climbs feature on tomorrow's profile. These all come in the final 20 kilometres. The race concludes on the steep pitch of the Mur de Bretagne. 2 kilometres in length, it will make for an explosive finale, so we might see another punch-up between Pogačar and Van der Poel. The last time the climb featured on the race, it was at the finish of stage 2 in 2021, when Van der Poel won his first Tour de France stage and took the yellow jersey, giving a tearful tribute to his grandfather Raymond Poulidor. Tomorrow, he'll return there in yellow, which is pretty poetic when you think about it.
Oh, it is indeed, as are all of your talking pieces. You write so eloquently, you speak so eloquently. Thank you so much, Kay.
Surely Van der Poel, he wants it again, doesn't he?
Definitely. He'll go for it big time, I think.
Well, we shall have to wait and see. We shall bring you all of the action after that stage. So please join us back at the same time tomorrow-ish. Until then, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All the peewees in the comments will be happy. All my nail varnish is chipping off.
Is it chipping away?
Yes, chipping away.